Hello, dear viewers. Welcome back to Saving Often. This is part 3 of Space Quest 6, Roger Wilco in the Spinal Frontier. Last week on part 2, we escaped captivity on Polysorbate 60. After beating a couple of thugs at their own game, we reprogrammed our trusty data quarter to make it a homing beacon. We were saved from the terrace by Stellar Santiago, our good friend, or perhaps more than a good friend. In the process of saving us, Stellar managed to throw out her back because we heroically leapt into her arms. And so while she was getting some medical treatment on the Deep Ship 86, we did a little bit of research into our captors. We found a file on Nigel Rancid that was suspiciously absent of details. And then we were quickly called away to a mission on Delta Berxalon 5, where we had to do some light janitorial work for a lady named Sharpay. Unfortunately, Sharpay had it out for us and, attempted to murder us by way of poison gas. Once again, Stellar came to our rescue and got us out of a jam, but unfortunately sacrificed her own life in the process. The last thing we saw here last week was Stellar's funeral as we launched her into space, and Roger read his, probably meant to be dim, but honestly, kind of touching, surprisingly touching for Space Quest, eulogy for Stellar that ended in a Wrath of Khan spoof, as Roger said that of all the souls that he had encountered, hers were the most scuff-resistant. Of course, I've known this game for far longer than I've known Wrath of Khan, so whenever I watch Wrath of Khan, that's the line that I think of. Anyway, we are here in the Hollow Cabana now, the hollow deck, or hollow suite, if you will, of the Deep Ship 86, as we have just finished with Stellar's funeral. So we're kind of aimless and meandering right now. We know that there's a sinister plot that we have to uncover, but to uncover it, we have to get some more information. So for now, why don't we head back to our quarters and see if there are any messages for us on the compost. Why, yes, there is.
Looks like you have a message waiting for you.
Wow, a message for me. I must be getting popular. I wonder what it is.
Roger, help me. I only have a moment. They faked.
Stellar, what happened? The picture's gone. You're alive?
Whoa. Wait, hang on a second. Stellar is alive? Shocking development. We need to head to the bridge right now and let Commander Kilbasa know.
Commander Kilbasa, you're going to think I'm crazy, but I've just received a distress message on my compost. And it was from Stellar.
Wilco, have you been whiffing cleaning fluid again?
I'm absolutely as sane as I've ever been. She's being held on Delta Berxalon by Sharpay.
Wilco, do you realize how irrational that sounds? We buried Stellar. You were there. Maybe you need a rest. Take a couple of hours off.
Sir.
Wilco, we have our orders from StarCon and we'll be carrying them out. Drop it, Janitor. Leave the bridge now, Wilco. I've made my decision.
Alright, so, the commander's not very helpful. While we're here, let's take a look around.
He's the ship's engineer. That's the communication officer. That's Dorff, the ship's chief of security.
Ah, yes, Dorff.
That's Commander Kilbasa, dummy. With these controls, Commander Kielbasa can override navigational subsystems, access ship-wide computer functions, perform sensor sweeps, and get to level 6 of Super Nunzio World. It's Commander Kielbasa's kitty litter box. This is where he makes most of his best command decisions. Not to mention all of his log entries.
Okay.
The main view screen is filled with stars and distant galaxies, representing untold scores of civilizations and a vast amount of untapped knowledge that could reshape the way we think of time and space. But more importantly, you're proud to notice that your new squeegee didn't leave any streaks.
Okay, so that's it for the bridge. So Commander Kielbasa is not going to help us out, so we're going to need to do some legwork on our own. I don't believe that we've looked at any of these other functions here at the compost, so let's go ahead and do a little bit of digging here. Let's check out the Communications button. Communications menu. Communications are offline due to short-sighted design work. When we resume service, you'll enjoy 20% savings whenever you send subspace transmissions to anyone on your Bores and Mortal Enemies list. Alright. Cyber functions. Pursuant to StarCon R/R subdirective G-145-938, all access to cyberspace from StarCon vessels and offices is hereby terminated. We apologize for any inconvenience. Stellar did suggest that we could probably jack into cyberspace to find out more about Nigel Rancid, so we'll find out a little bit more about this later. Let's check out the database. So we have three options: the Entity Database, Ships Functions, and the Science Database. We'll start with the Entity Database. DNA sequencing, this is what we did earlier. It just asks us for a data cart. Number 2 is Known Races. This is going to give us information about many of the races in the game. And we are absolutely not going to go through all of these because there are a ton. But there is one in particular that we need to find. So the designers of Space Quest 6 assumed that you were going to go through all of these, and you were going to do some research on a lot of the things that you see here in this list of known races. And they hid some very important information in section number 4. What we need to do is look up the Vulgars. The Vulgars are a peaceful race of brilliant and logical thinkers whose only real joy in life is to stride around the galaxy with superior attitudes and correct other people's grammar and spelling. They also enjoy designing outer space strategy simulation games. This makes them nearly as insufferable as university academicians, but not as well paid. Considering their placid and studious lifestyle, it's interesting to note that the Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. This is a tactile/oral maneuver in which the pincher pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering dialogue from either Tango and Cash or Hudson Hawk. This particular combination of stimuli results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness which can last for several hours. The technique is demonstrated in HoloJoint program number 5551212. This would be another thing that I only know from reading reading the hint book. But yeah, that's how you're apparently supposed to find out about the Vulgar Nerve Pinch, is simply by going through the list of known races. So yeah, now we know we can head back to the Holo Cabana and learn the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. So let's see what else we have here in the database. We have Ships Functions, HoloJoints, and Food Replicator. The HoloJoints can recreate any environment for which a program exists. To start a program, enter the program number and press Enter. Warning, all materials in the HoloJoint are made from Virtuplast, a virtual material that cannot exist outside of the HoloJoint environment. Attempting to remove any Virtuplast items from the HoloJoint environment will result in their immediate disintegration. So don't think you're going to go in there and conjure up something useful and then leave and expect it to still be in your inventory. How about the replicators? Food replicators are available in many ship's locations. To use, enter the number of the desired foodstuff. Menus are available in the seat pocket in front of you. If there is no seat pocket in front of you, try looking behind you. If there is no seat pocket behind you, just hail the waiter and request one. If there is no waiter in sight, please wait, and one will be with you shortly. Okay, and how about the science database? Number 1, current medical issues. Number 1, Starcon H/W Subdirective W-411-923 recommends that humanoid lifeforms ingest no more than 10% of calories from fat. Therefore, Kung Pao chicken has been deprogrammed from the replicator menu list. 2. Starcon would like to congratulate Dr. Beverage Crusher on her self-administered balloon angioplasty. This procedure uses a tiny inflatable balloon to compress a blockage against the sides of a vessel. Number 3. Self-administered congrats are in order to Scott Murphy for finally figuring out how to firmly wedge his head between his own cheeks. Alright, and then we have the periodic table. For more information on this, please see Volume 2, Issue 1 of Sanitation Hotspots. Sanitation Hotspots is the manual that came with the game that we got the data quarter information from. So I don't recall needing the periodic table for anything, but it's been so long it could just be escaping me. That might be something that we run into a little bit later. Anyway, that's it for the database. So, knowing what we know, why don't we head back to the Hollow Cabana? To the Hollow Cabana. Oh, we have to turn it on first. Okay, so we can enter our program code here. 555-1212.
Welcome to Hollow Suite Program 555-1212, the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. Despite our reputation for being pacifist, we Vulgars have developed an extremely practical martial arts technique used mainly for defensive purposes. It is called the Vulgar Nerve Pinch. This is a tactile oral maneuver in which the applier pinches the bundle of nerve fibers at the base of the neck while whispering into the victim's ear dialogue from either Tango and Cash or Hudson Hawk. This particular combination of nerve stimuli and loss of cerebral control due to the torturous mantra of movie dialogue results in a searing flash of pain and then unconsciousness. In effect, it is similar to a temporary orally induced robotomy. Victims are soon rendered unconscious for several hours. When they awaken, they will remember nothing of how they came to be unconscious, if they are extremely lucky. I shall demonstrate on my most eager volunteer. You will please to pay attention. Address the subject in this manner. Please to notice the location of my hand as I begin the narcotic chant of cinematic morphine.
He mutters something thankfully unintelligible into the ear of the volunteer.
Oh, thank you, sir. Maybe you can fix me up with your sister. I have told you what we're going to have margaritas together. Oh, the two of us get we have fun. Oh, get a hubba going in the wee. And then just like that,
So, as you can see, it is very effective. If you can apply a proper grip to the neck, it will disable 9 out of 10 neck-bearing species. This completes our program. Thank you very much.
Cool. So now we know how to disable 9 out of 10 neck-based species. Let's save our game. All right. That's all that we can do here, at least as far as I know. Anytime that I'm given an interface to enter codes, I always wonder what things could be hidden in there. But if there is anything hidden in the Hollow Cabana, I will leave that to you to discover on your own. Okay, so we have a few more places that we can check out here. We haven't been to the Brig yet. We haven't been to the 8 Rear yet. And we're here at the Hollow Cabana. First and foremost, before we go any further, let's check out the sick bay. There's something that we can get here that we're going to need. There's our friend Jebba.
He ignores you. What did you expect him to do? He helped you, and it's time for you to move along. We have adventuring to do.
Huh, the doctor was just in that cabinet.
It's a cabinet.
Wonder if there's anything interesting in there. Well.
It's a bottle of morphine.
A bottle of morphine. Let's see what else we have here. We still have the key card from the apartment. We still have the damaged CD-ROM disc. We have our eulogy. We have our rotting fish. And our data quarter.
This is the data quarter
I always do that. It looks like our data quarter has sustained some damage. Probably fried it out from, I don't know, maybe overclocking it for the homing beacon.
Oh, great. The data quarter seems to be fried.
Well, fortunately for us, we no longer need anything from this data quarter. It has served its useful purpose. However, there is one thing that we can grab from it.
This is the data quarter power source. A tiny chip of Devallium crystal. The official power source of StarCon.
That could come in handy. So let's take this Devallium crystal.
It's a piece of Devallium crystal.
We're going to need that a little bit later. Well, if Commander Kilbasa isn't going to do anything about Stellar, seems like we're on our own. And that means that we'll have to use a shuttle to get the hell out of here and find her on our own. Let's save our game, shall we? So here's the shuttle bay. Have a couple of guards here guarding the door.
Magnum Opus belongs to an elite StarCon fighting forces called the Flying Flingers, FF for short. That's Chesbro, one of the shuttle bay guards. A nice fatty donut. Magnum will probably scarf this down. After all, he needs to maintain his boyish tub-o'-guts figure. This massive door leads to the shuttle bay. Since the shuttle bay is completely depressurized every time a shuttle lands or takes off, this door must be incredibly thick and impenetrable. Not unlike you. Magnum doesn't talk. He fancies himself to be like one of those Buckingham Palace types. You consider saying hi until you remember how dedicated he is to his job, and you wouldn't want him to get in trouble for slacking off while on duty. I wonder why you don't worry about that for yourself.
So we need to get ourselves to a shuttle. And it doesn't look like these guards are going to let us through. So, fortunately for us, we are an adventure game action hero, and we take matters into our own hands, and that is why we are going to have the great idea here of attacking the security guard. After all, we do know a new combat maneuver, so what is the worst that can happen? We have to save Stellar. Let's go.
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. Now you can't get it while I got you now that you've got a... Hard to believe this is a real job. Oh, my... Oh. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble jumbo and your hubba chubba. Oh, boy. If I only could, I would. Jeez. Why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this, and I think I broke a fingernail here.
It worked! Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess we should have done something about that guy, too. Well, now we're in prison.
That would be Dorff, the nearsighted and fairly clueless security chief.
Yeah, and Dorff is loading us up with some food. I guess this is it. This is how Space Quest ends. In a jail cell.
Golly, this food looks so good it might be worth becoming a prisoner for. Yeah, like I'd sure want to be in your position. Not!
Let's take all that food.
It's one of the interestingly shaped pastries you took from the food cart.
Cool. Bobbit kebabs. They whip up some interesting food items in this joint.
It's the donut you filched from the food cart. It's a plate of grill hair spaghetti. It's a nice round melon.
I remember what this is. It's a rack of orat. Haven't seen this stuff since Space Quest 1.
It's a tuberous growth of some sort from the food cart. These look like something they cleaved from the side of Yoda's head.
Yeah, it's a hearty supply of food.
It's a hovercraft for transporting replicated food. Home sweet home, until you figure out how to get out of here and away from that nearsighted security guard. Well, the way this room is arranged, and given that you're locked inside the cell, if you stretch your neck real hard, you'd break your full neck before you could see that.
Another donut.
It's a hovercraft.
Enjoy, Mr. Wilco. Oh, the cushy life will be a vague memory after you are sent to one of the labor camps on Daventry 8.
While that's an interesting idea, even Dorff would notice that something would be missing where there were two things, the cart and you.
I was trying to take the donuts, but the narrator is implying that I'm trying to do something with the carts, and sure enough, I am. So let's take another look at this food that we have here. We'll wait for Dorff to go away first. So we have a lot of different items, and you know, these things look like they could be made into something else.
Nothing happened.
So let's see here. We have this rack of orat, kind of looks like a torso. We have these Yoda ears, kind of look like feet. The melon's a head. The kebabs could be legs or maybe arms. I think we can develop a pretty convincing mannequin to fool the nearsighted
In
guard.
this galaxy.
Let's see. Let's just figure out how to go about doing it, though.
In this... Careful.
Let's start with the melon, maybe?
In this...
Maybe the feet.
Now it
There
has
we
some
go.
cool ears.
Okay. So we've got legs and feet.
That's an interesting idea. It might have some potential. What?
Now let's add this to the body.
The rack of orat adds a nice touch. Those items seem to meld well with the sculpture in progress. An interesting idea. Something's starting to take shape. What are you up to, Roger? It looks like it's taking shape nicely. What? A touchment of that adds something more to your work in progress. How creative. That's a nice touch.
All right.
Something seems to be taking shape here.
We have a Roger mannequin. Let's save our game. I have not been saving enough. And these try again death scenes just make you lazy. I should save more often in case of a crash. Well, now we just have to wait for Dorff to come back down. Here he comes.
Enjoy. I'll be back to pick up the cart. With the force field on, I trust you won't be going anywhere. I have some matters to attend to now.
Nice work. Sometimes you actually surprise me.
Oh, how clever we are. Take a look in this cell now.
Inside this cell is the creature from the Ego, a bizarre invisible monster caught on Rialto 4. It's violent, brutal, bloodthirsty, and is a sucker for insincere flattery.
I wonder if we can talk to it.
Hey, handsome. Let's see that pretty little face. Impressive.
You know, we're free. We should let our little friend free, too.
Now there's a real bright idea, but then perhaps you deserve the consequences. If the force field were turned off, you'd be the only one to suffer the consequences. In the event that someone might be looking over your shoulder, we'll save your embarrassment for another time.
Well, there's no time like now. Come on, let's do it.
Game over, man. Game over. Being a good Samaritan is one thing, but you should have been just a little skeptical about that move.
Well, I mean, it seemed like a good idea. Whatever. Let's get out of here. Oh, wait. Let's look at ourselves first.
You marvel at how much more handsome this prisoner looks compared to the last one.
We did do a pretty good job, didn't we? Okay, well, we are now free. And we got a very important item.
It's the donut you filched from the food cart.
A donut. Let's head back to the shuttle bay entrance. What I love about this whole sequence at this point is that none of these people seem to care that we're free of our cell. I have to imagine everybody on the ship knows what we did. Anyway, this big goon over here is chowing down on donuts, and we have a donut. So we're going to do what every adventure game sociopath does. We are going to drug him.
Good thinking. It's a bottle of morphine, which you thought was actually morphine. Die.
Ah, a bottle of morphine, huh?
It's the donut you filched from the food cart.
Laced with morphine. Can I eat it?
It probably...
No. But I can.
You're being watched.
I'm being watched. Okay, what if we hid first? There we go. Wouldn't be a Space Quest game without using the foreground for cover. Oh, man.
My, this guy would give Sybil a run for her money.
Well, now let's try that little trick on Chesbro again, shall we?
Ooh, boy, I got you with my fingers in your Kurt Russell. No, you can't get away. I got you now that you've got a... Hard to believe this is a real job. Oh, my... Oh. So how come you're not going down? I got you with your mumble jumbo and your hobbit chubby. Oh boy, if I only could, I would. Jeez, why don't you step outside, pal? I got you with this, and I think I broke a fingernail here.
I really like that part, so I had to play it twice.
Smooth move. You've got his keyring.
I can't help but wonder if that was ad-libbed or not. Anyway, yeah, so now...
That's an incapacitated security guard. I think it's time to spend a lot less time leisurely touring and a lot more time trying to get your can out of this place.
So now... we have incapacitated the guards. It's time to get the hell off the deep ship. But we have another problem. Oh, well. A problem is... Scum VM. I'm supposed to walk over to the button and do that, but apparently in Scum VM, he just starts the animation anyway. Yeah, Roger is supposed to come over here. Maybe? So I can't believe I have to explain this, it doesn't work. So the idea is you can't reach both buttons here. Roger is supposed to walk over closer to the button. But apparently Scum VM just isn't going to work with us, so I guess if we stood here, that would look more natural. I don't think I've ever seen that animation either. Okay, so anyway, bugs aside, that's the problem right now. We need to be able to push both buttons. We have not yet gone to the 8 rear. The only place that I haven't taken you yet. Let's head there now. You know, enough of this trying to get off of the ship thing. Let's just have some R&R here.
You can't detach that without a psych.
Let's have a chat with our old friend here. Our old friend, Circuit Sydney.
It's your old non-organic friend, Circuit Sydney.
Hello, Roger. Please join me in consuming something.
Thanks, Sydney.
You seem uptight.
Say what? Upright? What are you talking about, Sydney?
Uptight was the word. Perhaps that is too archaic a reference for you. It would have been more effective to say that you seem concerned.
Oh, yeah. I do have a thing or two, well, at least something on my mind.
I am sorry to hear this. I hope your concerns are soon alleviated.
Thanks, Sid. I do have to come up with some solutions. Sydney, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you.
Flame away, Roger. You know I'd give you my right appendage if you needed it.
Funny you should say that, Sydney. I kind of have this situation where that very item could come in handy.
Really? Well, I was merely saying that metaphorically.
You really are a great friend, Sydney. That'll come in real handy. I can't thank you enough, Sydney.
Well, if you really are seriously in need of it, I suppose I could lend it to you. You will get it right back to me, won't you, Roger?
Oh, yeah. You bet your nut flanges, Sydney.
Well,
The anti-grav
oops. Let's hear what he has to
The
say.
anti-grav tables are specially designed to compensate for the ship's motions, minimizing drink spills while under enemy attack. Now you can drink an alien secretion during a hull breach and still not spill a drop. Yes, your eyeballs will implode within 2.3 seconds, but if and when you make it back from sickbay, your drink will still be there waiting for you.
Cool. Let's take Circuit Sydney's arm.
It's the right arm circuit Sydney was so kind to loan you.
There's one more thing that our friend Sydney can do for us. We don't yet know that we're going to need this, but I'm going to save a little bit of time and talk to him once more.
Sydney, I kind of need another favor. I need one of your eyes.
Pardon me, Roger. For a second, I thought you said you also wanted one of my eyes. I must have my auditory circuits diagnosed.
Well, actually, Sydney, I could use one of your eyes.
Are you certain, Roger? Well, I guess if you really need it.
Oh, I do. I really do, Sydney. You're a mechanized lifesaver.
You will return them soon, right, Roger?
Oh, of course, Sydney. Real soon. Listen, I've got a couple of things I've got to attend to. I'll see you soon. Thanks, Sydney.
As long as you say it will be soon, Roger.
Oh, yeah. See you soon, Sydney.
Oh, more adventure game sociopathy. Just steal parts from Data, I mean Circuit Sydney.
Roger, are you here to return my structural loans?
Soon, Sydney. Soon.
Well, I do hope it's soon. People are starting to look at me in a strange manner.
You got it, Sydney. I'll be back soon.
All right. We got stuff from Sydney. I think now we are good to go. So let's head back to the shuttle bay. And try this one more time. Using Sydney's arm. Okay, now we are out in the shuttle bay yard.
This large, well-ventilated shuttle bay is probably the largest single room on the ship. which is why you can often find Andorian megopeds playing hacky sack in here. He's waxing the ship. Ooh, a mint-condition 57 Gateway Bel Air with mag thrusters, overhead lifters, and 4-pod barrels.
Cool.
This Tiberian skimmer may look intimidating, but it's seriously underpowered. And that clear steel compound cockpit is particularly vulnerable to meteorites, baryon radiation, and large insects.
Hey, the 1701D.
Some guy wearing a Delco air filter on his face parked this shuttle.
Leave Geordie LaForge alone.
You hear a disembodied voice saying, "Remember your parking space, Luke."
Alright, well, this is the shuttle that we need right here.
It's a standard Starcon shuttle built for speed and maneuverability. Unfortunately, with a budget of only 550,000 buckazoids, they had to leave off certain amenities, like airtight seals, decent shields, and restrooms.
Alright, so we did pick up a key off of one of the guards.
It's a key with a little button thingy attached to it.
So let's save often. And let's try pressing the button.
The shuttle's alarm is now deactivated.
Nice, so that's the shuttle that we need there. What happens if I...
The shuttle's alarm is now activated.
What happens if I activate it and try to get in?
This might be the one. It looks familiar. Unfortunately, it's locked. This might...
Oh, come on. What if I use this?
Boy, wouldn't it be... Boy...
Ah, come on, fine.
The shuttle's alarm...
There. Okay, so here we are inside the shuttle, and we need to get off of the Deep Ship 86. So let's take a look around here.
The shuttle always looks trashed like this when it gets back from one of those intergalactic tailgate parties. These are the seats for the pilot and navigator, built of a semi-translucent gel foam that molds itself to the shape of whoever's sitting in it.
Hey.
The semi-transparency also makes it easier to spot loose change and crumbs that have fallen between the cushions.
That would be pretty useful.
The shuttle bay doesn't look so spacious from in here. In fact, it looks kind of fuzzy.
All right. What do we have here?
It's a recall notice.
Let's grab it. So it has a bunch of symbols.
It's the recall notice.
All right. Let's see if we can get a better description of it here.
It's the recall notice for the owner's manual. It reads, "Dear Ham Shuttle Owner, it has come to our attention that there is a minor misprint in the owner's manual for the 1000 series of shuttles. Until a new manual can be acquired, please disregard page 73, paragraph 4 of that manual."
Where it reads, "As any moron knows, when jumping the 1000 series, please match the positive cable end with the positive terminal on the polar flux repeater deck. Follow the same procedure for the negative cable and negative pole." It should now read, "As any moron knows, when jumping the 1000 series, please match the positive cable end with the American football field goal pole and the negative cable end with the O pole. Thank you for flying a hamster." Okay, that's going to come in handy a little bit later. For now, we need to get out of here. Take a look in our cockpit.
This is the shuttle's cockpit. All the action takes place right here.
Okay, looks like we have a glove box here.
It appears to be the shuttle's version of a glove box.
Nice. Let's see.
It reminds you of one of those hand pumps you use when the astrohead plugs up.
So we have a hand pump.
It's a tube of Elmo's Gluzol.
some school glue.
It's the most indispensable item in the universe. Duct tape.
And some duct tape. Those all seem useful. Okay, so how do we operate this damn thing?
It says power. Could it be that this button has something to do with the power system of the shuttle? Nah, that sounds way too obvious. This is the shuttle. This looks like the launch initiation button. At least that's what it says it is.
Okay, launch initiation.
These are navigational system readouts.
Nav readouts.
You might want to fire up the sucker.
Okay, PTS.
This button activates the PTS system.
That's what we have up here.
This is the photo triangulation system unit. It houses the optics as well as the print recorder and ejector.
Okay, what's this button here?
This button activates the manual override state. It is effective only while in flight.
Okay, good to know. ICD.
It's the intermix confirmation display button.
Subroutine program card.
Can't you read? It's the subroutine program disk slot. Sheesh, so it's a little small. I'm so tired of hearing that.
All right, fair enough. And this is just the screen.
This is the main cockpit display. Various subsystems of the shuttle are monitored and controlled from here.
Looks like we have movies and games.
Cool. This button is for the games option package available on the DS-86 series. Too bad StarCon was way too cheap to spring for it.
And
Cool. This button is for the movies option pack.
same thing for the movies.
This panel would control the weapon systems were this shuttle so equipped.
Okay, so there's no weapon systems. That's good to know. All right, well, let's power this bad boy on and see if we can't get out of here. Launch system. Intermix not correctly set. Make necessary adjustments before initiating launch sequence. Okay, so this is the intermix display.
This is the intermix confirmation display. Once the proper 4 elements have been selected along with the proper confirmation code, the shuttle is ready to fly.
Okay, so now I remember. This is what we needed that periodic table for. The database told us that it was in the copy of Popular Janitronics, which is the magazine that came with the game. The one that I had to use for the data quarter puzzle, Sanitation Hotspot. It said Volume 2, Issue 1, and sure enough, in Volume 2, Issue 1, conveniently located inside the game box, is the periodic table of the elements. So that's what we needed this for. Now, we have 3 fuel tanks and a catalyst, and it's telling us the confirmation code is lasagna. So, what we need to do with this puzzle is use this confirmation code to match up with these elements. I guess that's what you're supposed to surmise from this, is that these are elements and you've got the periodic table, and it's supposed to look kind of familiar to you insofar as you need to use the letters of lasagna to fill out the intermix display. So we'll start with LA. LA. I am completely unfamiliar with the periodic table. Chemistry was not my strong suit. No science was my strong suit in school, and I have completely forgotten everything. L-A. Lanthanum. Element number 57. So, fuel tank number 1. Lanthanum. Now, S. I do know that one. S is sulfur. So, fuel tank number 2 is already sulfur. Now we have AG. AG is silver. And finally, NE, conveniently neon, already there as the catalyst. LA, S, AG, NE. So we are good to go now. We can initiate. Intermix confirmed. Stand by for retinal scan. Ooh.
What can be said that isn't painfully obvious?
Well,
don't pick at it.
It's not going to let us scan our retinas. So luckily, we have already solved this puzzle. At least we've already gotten what we need to solve this puzzle. Let's initiate one more time, and we will borrow our pal Circuit Sydney's eye.
Let's see if this sucker works.
Hey! Here's your fish!
Gotta have that damn fish.
Janitor Wilco, what are you doing? You have no authorization to take that shuttle. To make matters worse, you have launched into the middle of a super double reverse anti-anomaly. You will turn that ship around immediately and head back to the shuttle bay. Do you understand, Wilco?
Bite me, Commander.
What was that last transmission, Wilco?
We're having a little problem with the signal, sir. I mean, with all due respect, sir, I did plead with you not to leave Stellar behind. Sir, I sense that something's just not right with that community. I don't believe Stellar is dead, and I just can't leave her there. I'm going to do this, sir, regardless of the consequences. Stellar saved my life not once, but twice. I owe her.
Well, that was her own stupid mistake. I demand that you return at once, Wilco. If you do so and surrender now, your record will be taken into consideration during your disciplinary hearing.
Oh, that'll help you loads.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just can't. I have to do this.
Wilco, you fool!
Just then, the shuttle is sucked into the anti-anomaly. Communication with the deep ship has been disrupted.
Well, that's certainly not good. We are now lost in space after being sucked into an anti-anomaly. We need to find our way to Delta Berxalon once again to save Stellar Santiago. Next time on Saving Often, we'll find our way out of this jam and we will continue our quest now to save Stellar, who is still alive somewhere. We will find her. Thank you very much, as always, for joining me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you making me part of your day. Please take care of yourself. Remember to save early. Remember to save often. And don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And hey, play some adventure games, would you? Until next time.
My, oh my, it would appear that Sydney's head has a life of its own today.